The woman at table 7 is wearing enough diamonds to pay off my student loans, and I'm about to spill marinara sauce on her cream Chanel suit. My hands shake as I balance the tray, not because of the designer clothing or the diamonds, but because of the man sitting across from her. He hasn't looked up from his phone once since they sat down, but I feel his presence like a physical weight. Dark suit, darker hair, the kind of stillness that predators have right before they strike. Buonasera, I say to the woman, forcing my brightest smile. Welcome to Sorella's. Her head snaps up. Her eyes, the same unsettling dark as her son's, widen slightly. Tu parli italiano? She asks, and there's something sharp in her tone. Testing. Si, signora. I set down her water glass without spilling. Small victories. My grandmother was from Napoli. She taught me young. The words are barely out of my mouth when the temperature at the table drops 10 degrees. He's looking at me now. I make the mistake of meeting his gaze, and my stomach does something complicated. His eyes aren't just dark. They're black, like standing at the edge of a well and knowing if you fall, you'll never hit bottom. There's an intensity there that makes my skin prickle, and I don't know if I want to run toward it or away from it. What's your name? His voice is low, accented, not Italian. Something Slavic underneath the English. Ava. I shouldn't have answered. I should have deflected, made a joke, taken their order. But my mouth doesn't consult my brain when he's looking at me like I'm the first interesting thing he's seen all year. Ava, he repeats, like he's testing how it sounds, like he's already decided it belongs to him. His mother says something rapid-fire in Italian, something about respect and propriety that I pretend not to understand, but he doesn't break eye contact with me. She'll take the branzino, he says, still watching me. I'll have whatever you recommend. This is the part where I should rattle off specials. Instead, I hear myself say, "You trust a stranger's judgment?" His mouth curves slightly. It's not quite a smile. I trust yours. I don't know why that feels like a threat and a promise wrapped together. I'm in the kitchen, hands braced against the prep counter, trying to remember how to breathe normally when Marco appears beside me. Table 7? He asks. Marco's been a server here for 15 years. He knows every regular, every neighborhood family, every person worth knowing in Little Italy. What about them? Ava. His voice drops. Do you know who that is? Some guy with his mom? But even as I say it, I know it's not true. Nobody looks like that, carries themselves like that, if they're just some guy. Marco glances toward the dining room, then back at me. That's Alexei Volkov. And that's not just his mother, that's Katya Volkov. The name registers like a punch. Even I've heard the Volkov name, and I make it a point not to pay attention to organized crime gossip. They're not Italian mafia, they're something else, something that makes the old Italian families nervous. Why is he here? Our restaurant is good, but it's not that good. It's the kind of place where neighborhood families come for Sunday dinner, where the pasta is homemade and the atmosphere is warm, not where Russian mob bosses take their mothers. His mother grew up 3 blocks from here. She likes to come back sometimes. Marco's watching me too carefully. But Alexei doesn't usually join her. So why? I don't know. But Ava? He waits until I look at him. Be careful. The Volkovs don't do anything without a reason. I manage to avoid table 7 until their entrees are ready. But when I bring out the branzino and the osso buco, because of course he trusted my recommendation, and of course I gave him my favorite dish, Katya Volkov is watching me like I'm a puzzle she's trying to solve. Your grandmother, she says as I set down her plate. What was her name? Rosa Marino. She passed 5 years ago. Something shifts in her expression. Rosa with the garden? Who made the lemon cookies for the feast of San Gennaro? My chest tightens. You knew her? Everyone knew Rosa. Katya's voice softens. I'm sorry for your loss. She was a good woman. I don't expect the grief to hit me standing in the middle of the dining room, but it does. Nona's been gone 5 years, and I still reach for my phone to call her sometimes. Thank you, I manage. When I risk a glance at Alexei, he's still watching me, but something in his expression has changed. It's not softer exactly, but there's a question there that wasn't before. His mother says something to him in Russian. I catch the word devochka, which I think means girl, and he responds without looking away from me. Whatever he says makes her eyebrows rise. Enjoy your meal, I say, and escape before I do something stupid like ask what they're saying about me. They stay for 2 hours. I'm hyper-aware of table 7 the entire time, even when I'm taking orders from other customers or running food or pretending to polish wine glasses that don't need polishing. Katya does most of the talking. Alexei listens, occasionally responding in Russian or Italian. He has a way of holding himself that makes the space around him feel smaller, more contained, like he's the center of gravity and everything else is just orbiting. I should not find that attractive. I should definitely not notice the way his hands look holding a wine glass, strong, scarred knuckles, deliberate movements. I should not be wondering what those hands could do. Stop it, I tell myself. He's a criminal. He's dangerous. He's exactly the kind of man Nona would have chased out with a wooden spoon. But Nona also used to say that the most dangerous thing about fire isn't that it burns, it's that it's beautiful while it does. When they finally ask for the check, I bring it over with hands that are steadier than I feel. Katya stands first, reaching for her purse, but Alexei stops her with a gesture. He pulls out a black credit card without looking at the total. Your grandmother would be proud, Katya tells me, touching my arm briefly. You have her warmth. Then she says something to Alexei in Russian, kisses his cheek and heads toward the door. I expect him to follow. He doesn't. Instead, he signs the receipt. I try not to look at the tip, but I catch enough zeros to know it's obscene. And then he looks up at me. You work here often? 5 nights a week. Why am I answering? Why aren't I making an excuse and leaving? You live nearby? This is the question where I should lie. Walking distance. Something that might be satisfaction flickers across his face. Good. He stands, and I'm reminded that he's tall. Tall enough that I have to tilt my head back to maintain eye contact. Tall enough that I feel small, which I almost never feel at 5'8". Thank you for dinner, Ava. The way he says my name, like he's already said it 1,000 times before, like it's already his, sends heat down my spine. He starts to leave, then pauses, turns back. You should know, he says quietly. I always protect what's mine. I'm not yours. His smile is slow, dangerous. Not yet. Then he's gone, and I'm standing in the middle of the dining room, heart pounding, wondering what the hell just happened. I think about him all night. This is a problem. I think about him while I'm cashing out, while I'm walking home through streets I've known my whole life, while I'm unlocking my apartment door and deadbolting it behind me. I think about the way he looked at me, like I was the only person in the room, like he'd already made a decision I didn't know was being considered. I always protect what's mine. I'm not his. I'm not anyone's. I've worked too hard for my independence, paid my own way through school, built my own life, kept myself free from complications exactly like Alexei Volkov. My phone buzzes. Unknown number. Lock your door. Check your windows. My blood runs cold, then hot, then cold again. I type back. Who is this? You know who this is. Do what I said. I should block the number. I should call the police. Though what would I even say? A mob boss told me to lock my door? Instead, I walk through my apartment, checking every window, making sure they're latched. I was already planning to do this, but now I'm doing it because he told me to, and I don't know how I feel about that. My phone buzzes again. Good girl. Sleep well, Ava. I stare at the message for a long time. Then I go to bed and dream about dark eyes and dangerous promises. He comes back the next night. Not with his mother this time. Alone. He sits at a different table, still in my section because apparently Marco is either brave or stupid, and he doesn't look at the menu. The osso buco again? I ask, aiming for professional. And whatever you're having for dinner. I'm working. When's your break? I don't take breaks. This is a lie. I take a break at 9. He checks his watch, something expensive and understated that probably costs more than my car, and then looks back at me. You take a break at 9. I'll wait. How do you? I'll have the osso buco, he says smoothly, and bring 2 forks. At 8:58, I'm telling myself I'm not going to sit with him. At 9 o'clock, I'm sliding into the booth across from him with a plate of Sorella's special pasta, the one they make for staff, not customers. You're predictable, he says, but he sounds pleased. You're stalking me. Protecting. There's a difference. I should argue. Instead, I twirl pasta onto my fork and ask, protecting me from what? From men who don't deserve you. He says it casually, like it's fact, not opinion. And you do? And you do? Another step. My solution is to make you so obviously mine that no one would dare. No. His honesty surprises me. But I'm going to keep you anyway. My heart does something acrobatic. You can't just decide that. I already did. In the moment you spoke Italian to my mother. He leans forward slightly. Do you know what she said to me? After you told her about your grandmother? I shake my head. She said, that one has a good heart, strong, like Rosa. If you let her go, you're a fool. His eyes hold mine. My mother is never wrong about people. So you're doing this because your mother approves? No. His voice drops lower. I'm doing this because when you looked at me yesterday, you weren't afraid. You should have been. Everyone else is, but you... He stops, jaw tightening. You looked at me like I was just a man. You are just a man. No, Ava, I'm really not. We talk for my entire break. He asks questions, where I grew up, what I studied, why I'm working at Sorella's with a degree in art history, and I answer before I remember I shouldn't be telling him anything. He volunteers less, but I piece things together. His mother raised him alone after his father died. He took over the family business young. He doesn't sleep much. He hasn't been in a relationship in years because, in his words, women don't understand the life I live. And you think I will? I ask. I think you're stronger than you realize. When my break ends, he doesn't try to keep me. Just watches as I stand, his gaze tracking my movements like I might disappear. Tomorrow, he says. Not a question. I'm off tomorrow. His expression shifts. Frustration, calculation. Then I'll see you the day after. You don't have to keep coming here. Yes, he says quietly. I do. He doesn't come the day after. He comes to my apartment. I'm carrying groceries up the stairs when I see him leaning against my door, dressed down in dark jeans and a black Henley that does illegal things to his shoulders. This is crossing a line, I say, but my voice isn't as firm as it should be. I crossed the line the moment I saw you. He takes the grocery bags from my hands, not asking, just taking, and waits while I unlock the door. I should not let him inside. This is how horror movies start. I let him inside. He sets the groceries on my counter and then surveys my apartment. 1 bedroom, cramped kitchen, furniture that's mostly secondhand but clean and loved. It's not much, but it's mine. You live alone? He asks. Yes. Your locks are inadequate. Excuse me? He points at my door. Any amateur could get through that in 30 seconds. Your windows don't have security bars. Your fire escape is accessible from the alley. I've lived here 3 years without incident. You've lived here 3 years without anyone paying attention. The way he says it makes my skin prickle. Now someone is. You keep talking about protection. Protection from what? He's quiet for a long moment, and I see the war happening behind his eyes. How much to tell me? How much to hide? Finally, my world has rules, Ava. One of them is that we don't involve civilians. We keep our business separate from innocent people. His jaw clenches. But the moment I showed interest in you, you stopped being separate. You became relevant, and relevance in my world is dangerous. The weight of his words settles over me. So by noticing me, you've made me a target. Yes. At least he's honest. And your solution is what? To keep showing up? To tell me to lock my windows? My solution, he says, stepping closer, is to make it clear that you're under my protection, that anyone who touches you answers to me. I should back up. I don't. I'm not yours. You keep saying that. He's close enough now that I can smell his cologne, cedar and something sharper, more dangerous. But you let me in your apartment. You sat with me at dinner. You're not running. Maybe I'm just stupid. No. You're many things, Ava, but stupid isn't one of them. His hand comes up and I think he's going to touch my face, but he stops just short. You're curious. You want to know what this is between us. There's nothing between us. Liar. The word is soft, almost affectionate. There's been something between us since the moment you opened your mouth and Italian came out, since you looked at me like I was human, since... He stops, hand dropping. I should go. Why did you really come here? He turns back at my door. To install new locks, to make sure you're safe, to see you again because I've thought about nothing else for 2 days. Alexei, let me protect you, Ava. Let me do this one thing. There's something raw in his voice. You don't have to be mine, not yet, but let me keep you safe. I don't answer, but I don't tell him no. He takes that as the permission it is. The new locks are installed the next morning. I don't see who does it. I'm at work, pulling a double shift, but when I come home, my door has a deadbolt that looks like it belongs on a bank vault, and there's a note on my counter. No one gets in without your permission now. There's a phone number at the bottom, different from the one he texted me from. Call this if you need anything, day or night. I put the note in my drawer and tell myself I won't use it. I use it 3 days later. Not because I'm in danger, because I can't sleep, and I'm thinking about him, and before I can talk myself out of it, I'm pressing call. He answers on the first ring. Ava. Not, hello. Not, who is this? He knew it was me. Did I wake you? It's 2 a.m. No. I hear movement on his end. Fabric. Footsteps. What's wrong? Nothing. I don't know how to finish that sentence. I just wanted to hear your voice. I just can't stop thinking about you. I just want to understand why you make me feel reckless. Can't sleep? He asks when I don't continue. No? Me either. A pause. Do you want company? Yes. No. Yes. That's a bad idea. Probably. But he doesn't sound like he's going to listen to me. I'll be there in 15 minutes. Alexei. Lock the door behind me when I arrive. And Ava? His voice drops. Put on something warm. We're going somewhere. He hangs up before I can argue. He takes me to a rooftop garden in Brighton Beach. I don't ask how he has access to this building, or why there's a rooftop garden in the middle of a residential neighborhood, or how he got us up here without going through the main entrance. I'm learning that asking Alexei how questions usually leads to answers I'm not ready for. The garden is small but beautiful. Fairy lights strung between potted trees, herbs growing in neat rows, a bench overlooking the water. My mother's, he says, answering my unspoken question. She comes here when she needs peace. It's beautiful. She'd like you here. He sits on the bench, and after a moment, I sit beside him. Not touching, but close enough to feel his warmth. We're quiet for a while, listening to the ocean, and it should be awkward, but it's not. It's the most comfortable silence I've had with another person since Nonna died. Why can't you sleep? I finally ask. I'm used to it. Sleep is a vulnerability. That's sad. He glances at me, something unreadable in his expression. What about you? Why are you awake at 2 a.m. calling men you barely know? Maybe I'm reckless. No, you're careful, cautious. You wouldn't have survived in your grandmother's neighborhood without learning to read people. He shifts slightly toward me. So why did you call me? Because I wanted to. Because I'm tired of being careful. Because when I'm around you, I feel alive in a way I haven't felt in years. I don't know, I say instead. Liar. We look at each other, and something passes between us. Understanding, attraction, danger, all three at once. This is crazy, I whisper. Yes. You're a criminal. Yes. I should run. You should. His hand moves to my face now, thumb brushing my cheekbone. But you won't. How do you know? Because you're here. Because you called. Because... His thumb traces my bottom lip, and my breath catches. Because you feel it too. Feel what? This. His other hand slides into my hair, tilting my face up. This thing that's been burning since the moment I saw you. This certainty that you're supposed to be mine. People don't belong to other people. You're right, they don't. His forehead touches mine. But this isn't about ownership, Ava. It's about claiming, protecting, cherishing. His breath is warm against my lips. It's about the fact that I've done terrible things in my life, but the worst thing I could do now is walk away from you. I should push him away. This is happening too fast. He's dangerous. This can't end well. I kiss him instead. It's not gentle. There's too much tension, too many days of this building between us. His hand tightens in my hair, and I'm pulling him closer, and for a moment the whole world narrows to just this. His mouth on mine, his hand on my waist, the low sound he makes that vibrates through my chest. When we break apart, we're both breathing hard. Ava. Don't. I press my fingers to his lips. Don't tell me this is a mistake. Don't tell me I should run. I know all of that already. His eyes search mine. Then what do you want me to say? Tell me the truth. Tell me what happens next. He catches my hand, pressing a kiss to my palm that feels more intimate than the kiss we just shared. What happens next is I make sure you're never in danger because of me. What happens next is I take you to dinner and I learn everything about you and I make you laugh and I slowly convince you that this, he gestures between us, isn't crazy. It's inevitable. And then? And then you decide if you can live with who I am, what I do. His expression hardens slightly. Because I won't lie to you, Ava. I won't pretend to be something I'm not. My world is dark, violent, complicated. I'm not afraid of complicated. You should be afraid of me. I know. I lean into him, his arm coming around my shoulders. But I'm not. We stay on that rooftop until dawn, talking about everything and nothing. He tells me about growing up between two worlds, Russian and American, legitimate and criminal. I tell him about Nona, about losing her, about feeling like I'm drifting without her anchor. As the sun rises over the water, turning everything gold, he kisses my forehead. I'm going to keep you safe. He murmurs against my skin. No matter what happens, you understand? I understand. But I don't. Not really. Not until 3 days later when everything changes. It's a Tuesday night, and Sorella's is busy. I'm balancing 4 plates when Marco catches my arm. There's a man asking for you. Table 12. My heart jumps, thinking it's Alexei. But when I look over, the man at table 12 is older, heavier, with cold eyes and an expensive suit that doesn't quite hide the gun under his jacket. Tell him I'm busy. Ava. Marco's voice is tight. He's not the kind of man you keep waiting. I deliver my plates, then approach table 12 with my customer service smile in place. How can I help you? Sit. Not a request. I'm working. Your boss just gave you a break. He nods toward the kitchen, where I see Marco gesturing frantically for me to comply. Sit down, Miss Marino. The use of my last name makes my blood run cold. I sit. You know who I am? He asks. No. I'm Victor Kozlov. He says it like I should know the name. When I don't react, his mouth thins. I do business with the Volkov family. Or I did, until recently. Oh no. I don't know what. Don't. His hand moves on the table, not threatening, just present, reminding me he could be threatening if he wanted. Alexei Volkov has taken a very visible interest in you. That makes you relevant to certain discussions. I'm just a waitress. You're the woman who made Katya Volkov smile, who made Alexei Volkov stop thinking about business long enough to notice another human being. Victor leans forward. Do you know what that means? In our world? I don't answer. It means you're either a weakness or a tool. And right now, I haven't decided which. Terror locks my throat. This is what Alexei warned me about. This is the danger I thought I understood but didn't really, not until this moment. What do you want? I want you to deliver a message to Alexei. Tell him the terms he offered are unacceptable. Tell him if he wants to protect what's his. Victor's eyes crawl over me in a way that makes my skin itch. He'll need to reconsider. I'm not. You are now. Victor stands, dropping a $100 bill on the table. Enjoy your evening, Miss Marino. I'm sure I'll see you again soon. He leaves, and I sit frozen, heart hammering, finally understanding what Alexei meant. Relevance is dangerous. I call him the moment my shift ends. He answers immediately. Viktor Kozlov came to the restaurant. Silence. Then, in a voice I haven't heard before, cold, lethal. Are you hurt? No. Just scared. Where are you? Outside Sorella's. Stay there. Don't move. Don't go anywhere alone. I hear sounds in the background. Doors, voices, urgency. I'm sending someone. 2 minutes. Alexei. 2 minutes, Ava. Stay on the phone with me. A black SUV pulls up 90 seconds later. The driver, a massive man with a scar across his cheek, gets out and opens the back door. Dmitri will bring you to me, Alexei says in my ear. You're safe. I promise. I get in the car because what else can I do? Dmitri takes me to a building I've never seen, glass and steel overlooking the water. We ride the elevator to the top floor in silence, and when the doors open, Alexei is there. He looks different, harder. The man who took me to his mother's garden is gone, replaced by something colder. Until he sees me. Then his expression cracks, just for a moment, and I see fear. Real, human fear. Come here. His voice is rough. I do. And the moment I'm close enough, he pulls me into his arms, one hand in my hair, the other around my waist, holding me like I might disappear. Did he touch you? No. Did he threaten you? Not directly. His chest rises and falls against me, heart racing. I'm sorry. This is my fault. I should have been more careful. I should have. Alexei. I pull back to look at him. What did he mean about terms? His jaw clenches. Business. Nothing you need to worry about. If it involves me, I need to worry about it. We stare at each other, and I watch him make a decision. Come inside. We need to talk. His penthouse is exactly what I'd expect. Expensive, minimalist, with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. There's a security monitor on one wall showing different camera angles, and I try not to think about how many people he employs to keep him safe. Kozlov and I have been negotiating territory, Alexei says, pouring me a drink I don't remember asking for. He wants access to shipping routes my family controls. I refused. Why? Because he deals in things I don't. His expression darkens. Drugs, weapons, those are business, but Kozlov also deals in people, and that's a line I don't cross. I take the drink, whiskey burning my throat. So he came after me to pressure you? Yes. Alexei sits beside me, not touching but close. And it's my fault. I was too visible with you, too obvious. I should have been more careful. So what happens now? Now I make it clear that touching you means war. He says it simply, like it's already decided. I let everyone know that you're under my protection, my family's protection. And if he doesn't care? Then I make an example of him. The casual way he says it, like violence is just another business transaction, should terrify me. Maybe it does, but it also makes me feel something else. Safe. You can't start a war over a waitress you've known for 2 weeks, I say. His hand cups my face, tilting it toward him. You're not a waitress I've known for 2 weeks. You're the woman who spoke to my mother in Italian, who kissed me on a rooftop, who called me at 2 a.m. because you couldn't sleep. His thumb brushes my cheekbone. You're mine, Ava, and I protect what's mine. I haven't agreed to be yours. You will. It's not arrogance. It's certainty. Because you're here. Because you didn't run. Because... He leans closer. You know this is inevitable as much as I do. He's right. I hate that he's right. What if I can't do this? What if your world is too dark? Then I'll let you go. He says it, but I don't believe him. But I don't think you're going to ask me to. Why? Because you're braver than you think, stronger than you know, and because... He kisses me, soft and devastating. You've already chosen me. You just haven't admitted it yet. I stay that night. Not in his bed, not yet. But in his guest room, with new locks and security monitors and the knowledge that there are armed men stationed throughout the building. I should be terrified. Instead, I sleep better than I have in weeks. The next 2 weeks are a blur. Alexei doesn't hide anymore. He picks me up from work in cars that cost more than my yearly salary. He sits at Sorella's and works on his laptop while I serve other customers. He introduces me to his mother properly, over Sunday dinner at her house, where she makes lasagna and grills me about my intentions toward her son. He's different with you, Katya tells me while Alexei is outside taking a call. Lighter, more human. He seems pretty human to me. She gives me a look that says I'm naive, but she likes me anyway. My son has lived in darkness since his father died. He does what he must to protect our family, to keep us safe, but it's made him hard. Her hand covers mine. You soften him. Not weak, softer. Like a blade that's been sharpened too many times needs oil to keep from breaking. I don't know if I can do this, I admit. His world, the danger, the life? Katya smiles. You think a safe life is better than a full one? Your grandmother didn't. Rosa lived through war, through poverty, through loss, but she lived fully. Every moment mattered because she knew it was temporary. Nonna also died in her own bed, surrounded by family. Not because someone shot her, you mean? Katya's voice is gentle but firm. Death comes for all of us, Ava. The question is whether we hide from life to avoid it, or whether we live so fully that when death comes, we've already won. Alexei returns before I can respond, but Katya's words stay with me. On a Friday night, 3 weeks after we met, Alexei takes me to dinner. Not at Sorella's. Somewhere expensive, exclusive, where the hostess calls him by name, and the waitstaff moves like dancers. We eat food I can't pronounce, and drink wine that probably costs more than my monthly rent. You're spoiling me, I say. Yes? He doesn't look apologetic. I don't need expensive things. I know. You need security, honesty, and someone who sees you clearly. His hand covers mine on the table. But I want to spoil you anyway. Let me. After dinner, we walk along the pier, his jacket around my shoulders, his hand in mine. I talked to Kozlov, he says quietly. My heart jumps. And? He's accepted new terms. He won't be a problem anymore. What did you... Don't ask me questions you don't want answers to. His voice is gentle but final. Some parts of my world you don't need to see, but I need to live with the consequences. Yes. He stops walking, turning to face me. And that's why I'm giving you a choice now. Before this goes further, before, he stops, jaw working, before I make you so tangled up in my life that leaving would tear both of us apart. What's the choice? Walk away, right now. I'll make sure you're safe, that Kozlov and anyone else knows you're off limits, but we end this. We never see each other again. My chest tightens. And option 2? Option 2 is you accept who I am, what I do, the life I live. He steps closer, hands framing my face. Option 2 is you let me keep you, protect you, make you so obviously mine that the whole world knows. Option 2 is, his voice drops, you trust me with your safety, and I trust you with my heart. You're saying you love me. I'm saying I could. His forehead touches mine. I'm saying you're the first person in 10 years who's made me want to. I'm saying... He pulls back to look at me, and his eyes are raw, vulnerable. I'm saying, choose me, Ava. Choose this. Choose us. I should think about it, Weigh the options. Be logical. Instead, I kiss him. He makes a sound against my mouth, relief, hunger, possession, and then his arms are around me, lifting me slightly, and we're kissing like we're the only two people in the world. When we finally break apart, he's breathing hard, eyes dark. "That's a yes?" he asks. "That's a yes." He kisses me again, softer this time. "Then you're mine now, officially, completely." What does that mean? It means I take care of you, protect you, spoil you. His hand slides into my hair. It means you tell me when you're scared, when you need something, when I'm being too much. And what do you get? You. That's enough. We go back to his penthouse that night. We don't sleep. But I learn that danger can be beautiful, that darkness can be warm, that choosing the complicated path doesn't mean choosing wrong. It just means choosing fully, with your eyes open. In the morning, wrapped in his sheets with the city spread out below us, he traces patterns on my bare shoulder. "No going back now," he murmurs. "I know. My family will want to meet you properly. There are expectations. Rules. Like what? Like..." He pauses, considering. "Like once you're part of this world, you're part of it forever. There's no halfway." "Is this your way of saying I can't leave?" "No." He props himself up to look at me. "You can always leave. I won't stop you. But I won't stop loving you either. And I won't stop protecting you. Even if you walk away, you're still mine. You'll always be mine." It should sound possessive, threatening. Instead, it sounds like a promise. I go back to work on Monday and everything is the same but different. The same customers, the same food, the same routine. But now there's a man stationed discreetly outside, one of Alexei's people keeping watch. Now Marco treats me with a mix of awe and terror. Now I have a drawer full of beautiful clothes I didn't buy, and a bank account that somehow has more money in it than when I checked last week. "Stop doing that," I tell Alexei when he picks me up after my shift. "Doing what?" "You know what? The money, the clothes, the taking care of you." He opens the car door for me. "No. Alexei? This is what I do, Ava. I take care of what's mine. You can argue, but you won't win." I should be annoyed. Instead, I'm smiling. 3 days later, Katya invites me to lunch, not at a restaurant, at her home with the kind of spread that takes hours to prepare: antipasti, fresh bread, 3 kinds of pasta, roasted vegetables, tiramisu. "You cook like nonna," I say without thinking. Her eyes soften. "Your grandmother taught me, actually. A long time ago, when I was new to this country and lonely. She showed me that food is love, yes? That feeding people is how we say, 'You matter to me.'" We eat and talk. About Alexei as a child, about the neighborhood, about life. It's not until we're on coffee and tiramisu that she says, "My son is planning to make this official." My heart stops. "Official? You'll know when." "But Ava..." She takes my hand. "You need to understand what that means. The Volkov family is not just business. It's blood. Marriage means protection, yes, but it also means obligation, loyalty, permanence." "He hasn't. He will." She squeezes my hand. "And when he does, you need to be sure, because once you say yes to him, you say yes to all of this. The danger, the family, the life." "Are you trying to scare me?" "I'm trying to prepare you." Her expression is serious. "I like you, Ava. I think you're good for him, but this life, it's not easy, and once you're in, there's no going back." "You sound like you're warning me off." "No, I'm making sure you choose with your eyes open." She smiles slightly. Rosa's granddaughter deserves that much. Alexei picks me up from his mother's house, and I'm quiet on the drive. "What did she say to you?" he finally asks. "That you're planning something." He doesn't deny it. And I turn to look at him. "I think I'm in love with you, and it's terrifying, and I don't know if I'm ready for whatever comes next." He pulls the car over. Right there, in the middle of a residential street, he just stops. Look at me. I do. I'm not proposing today, he says. When I do, you'll know. There will be no doubt. His hand cups my face. But I need you to understand something. I don't do anything halfway. When I commit completely, and I've already committed to you. What if I hurt you? You will. I'll hurt you too. That's what happens when people love each other. They have the power to cause pain. His thumb brushes my cheek. But I'll also protect you, cherish you, build a life with you, and I'll never stop choosing you even when it's hard. That's a big promise. I'm a man who keeps his promises. He leans across the console, kissing me soft and sure. I love you, Ava Marino. I've loved you since you spoke Italian to my mother, since you weren't afraid of me, since, he smiles against my mouth, since you stole my heart without even trying. I don't know what happens next. I don't know if I'll marry him, if I'll really become part of his world, if I can handle the darkness that comes with loving a man like Alexei Volkov. But I know I'm not running. I know when I look at him, I see home, safety, danger and desire and something that feels inevitable. I know that Nona would either love him or try to poison his food, and there's no middle ground. I know that I called him at 2 a.m. 3 days ago, and he stayed on the phone with me for an hour talking about nothing. That he knows how I take my coffee, my favorite book, the way I chew my lip when I'm nervous. I know that yesterday I found a necklace in my apartment, delicate gold with a small pendant, a St. Christopher medal, like the one Nona used to wear. The note with it said, "For protection, for luck, for love." I'm wearing it now, the cool metal against my skin. And when Alexei looks at me across the dinner table tonight at some restaurant I can't pronounce, I realize I didn't just fall for the danger or the protection or the intensity. I fell for the man who remembered my grandmother's saint, who listens when I talk, who holds me like I'm precious but kisses me like I'm his salvation. I fell for him, and whatever comes next, whatever his world throws at us, whatever darkness we have to face, I'm not walking away. Because Katya was right. A safe life isn't better than a full one. And this, the fear and the fire and the feeling that I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be, this is living fully. What are you thinking about? Alexei asks, reaching across to take my hand. That I'm probably insane. Probably. He kisses my knuckles. But you're mine now. My beautiful, brave, insane Ava. Yours, I agree. And I realize, with equal parts terror and exhilaration, that I mean it. 2 weeks later, I'm at Sorella's when the diamond appears. Not on my finger, on my plate. I'm having dinner with Alexei. He's made it a ritual, coming in on my break. And when I cut into my tiramisu, there it is. Sitting in the mascarpone like it's the most natural thing in the world. A ring. Vintage setting, single diamond, simple and perfect. My heart stops. I look up at him and he's watching me with an expression I've never seen, vulnerable, hopeful, terrified. That was my grandmother's, he says quietly. My mother wore it. She gave it to me 3 years ago and told me I'd know when I met the woman who should have it. I can't breathe. I know it's fast. I know you're still figuring this out. I know... He stops, jaw clenching. I know I'm asking you to jump without seeing where you'll land. Alexei, but I also know I've never been more sure of anything in my life. He stands, moves to my side of the booth, and in the middle of this restaurant where we met, where his mother smiled at me, where this all began, he takes my hand. Marry me, Ava. Not because it's logical or safe or easy. Marry me because when I look at you, I see home. Because you're the first thing I think about when I wake up and the last thing I want before I sleep. Because... His voice drops, rough with emotion. Because you stole my heart, and I don't want it back. Around us, the restaurant has gone quiet. Marco is watching from the kitchen. Other customers are pretending not to stare. I should think about this, should weigh the consequences, should be smart. Yes, I whisper. His eyes close briefly, relief flooding his features. Then he's sliding the ring onto my finger, perfect fit like it was made for me, and kissing me in front of everyone. When we break apart, the restaurant erupts in applause. "You're insane," I tell him. "You're the one who said yes." "I know." I look at the ring, then back at him. "What did I just agree to?" "Forever." He says it simply. "Belonging to me, letting me belong to you, building a life that's ours." That's terrifying. I know. He kisses me again, softer this time. But we'll be terrified together. That night, in his bed, he traces the ring on my finger. "My family will want a traditional wedding," he warns. "Big, complicated. Lots of people you don't know." "Okay." "You'll need security. Always. Even when you don't think you need it." "Okay." "And there are things, parts of my business that I can't share with you, not because I don't trust you, but because knowing would put you in danger." I roll to face him. "I understand. But Alexei, I need one thing from you. Anything. Honesty. About the important things. About when I'm in danger, when decisions affect both of us, when—" I touch his face. "When you're struggling, I can't help if I don't know." I've never had someone who wanted to help before. You do now. He kisses my palm. "I'll never deserve you." "Probably not. But you're stuck with me anyway." We tell his mother the next morning. She cries, actually cries, and hugs me so tight I can't breathe. "Rosa would be happy," she whispers in my ear. "So happy." I cry too then, because I hope she's right. I hope Nona would understand that I'm choosing love over safety, that I'm choosing to live fully, even if it's dangerous, that I'm choosing him. The engagement party is in 2 weeks. The wedding will be in 6 months, enough time for dress shopping and planning and me slowly having a panic attack about marrying into a crime family. But tonight, it's just us, me and Alexei, tangled together in his bed, the city lights painting patterns on the ceiling. "Tell me something," I murmur against his chest, "something I don't know." "I knew I'd marry you the moment you spoke Italian to my mother." "That's impossible." "I know, but it's true." His hand slides into my hair. I looked at you, and something in my chest shifted, like a lock clicking open, like coming home? "Yes." He tilts my face up to kiss me. Exactly like that. We fall asleep like that, wrapped around each other, ring heavy on my finger, future terrifying and beautiful ahead of us. I'm learning his world has rules I never imagined. Rules about loyalty, about family, about the fine line between protection and possession. I'm learning that loving Alexei Volkov means accepting darkness as well as light, that it means bodyguards at my workplace and security cameras in my apartment, and a man who would burn the world down if someone threatened me. I'm learning that I'm braver than I thought, stronger than I knew, that Nona's blood runs in my veins, and she survived a war. I can survive this. But most importantly, I'm learning that I didn't just steal his heart, he stole mine right back. And neither of us is letting go, not now, not ever. The threat comes 3 days before the wedding. I'm at Sorella's because I still work there, despite Alexei's protests, when I see her. A woman I've never met, sitting at the bar, watching me with eyes that are familiar in a way that makes my stomach drop. She has his cheekbones, his dark hair, his stillness. When I approach, she smiles, and it's not kind. "So you're the waitress," she says, "the one my brother thinks is worth starting a war over." "Who?" "I'm Katerina Volkov." She says it like I should know the name. When I don't react, her smile sharpens. "Alexei's sister, the one he never mentioned." My blood runs cold. He doesn't talk about me because I remind him of things he'd rather forget, things about our family, about what we really do. She leans closer. "Things you should probably know before you marry him." I don't. 3 days, Ava. You have 3 days to decide if you can really live with the truth." She slides a card across the bar. "An address, nothing else. Come alone, or don't come at all. But after the wedding, the choice is gone." She leaves, and I'm standing there, heart racing, staring at the address. I should tell Alexei, should ask him about his sister, about secrets, about the things he hasn't shared, but Katerina's words echo in my head, things you should probably know before you marry him. What if he's been protecting me from more than just physical danger? What if the darkness I agreed to is deeper than I ever imagined? I slip the card into my pocket and go back to work. But tonight, when Alexei wraps his arms around me and calls me his, I wonder, how well do I really know the man I'm about to marry? And am I brave enough to find out the truth?